my book babes? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Deja and I'm a girl who just likes to read. So for this particular video, I will be going over all the books that I've read in the month of April, and I will also be doing my May TBR slash hopefuls. Now, I was in a bit of a funk this month. I don't know why. Like, I did not want to read anything, so I tried to switch. So I switched to a different genre to, figure out why I was about to fall into a reading slump, why I was just feeling so sluggish and things. So I went into another genre to uplift my spirits, and I ended up being in my urban romance genre. If you don't know about urban romance, it is all of the main male characters are African American people, and it's by Black authors. So, I further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the first series that I read in April was Bay. The series is called Bay, but the initials Bay stands for Before Anyone Else. Is by Jacquel J. And if you know anything about Jacquel J, she is known for the, what is that? Capone, Capadonna, and Capri. The Delgado family series, she's well known for that. But this series that I did read, well, I'm guessing was old because this was the first series that I read by her, and they were chef's kiss. I gave all of them a 5-star. But anyway, the series is about Moet, the female. Ugh, I cannot get my shit together right now. Anyway, so the female main characters for the whole entire series is Tammy, Moet, Monette. They're Moet and Monette are sisters, and Tammy is their best friend. But since she's like family, they consider her a sister. And then you also get introduced to another female main character in book 3 called, her name is Essence. And the male main characters will be Zaire, Hakeem, Rick, and another. I'm scared to say his name. I'm just gonna say the name that they give, the nickname that they give him in the book. It's Sav. Yeah, I'm gonna call him that because I'm going to botch the character's name that's in the book. So, Moet, she was still dealing with an ex who was an asshole. His name was Kai, and she finally dumped his ass. She finally stopped dealing with him after he put her in a mess situation with a girl named Blake that she did not like. And she's also a nurse. She ends up talking to her best friend Tammy's cousin Zane, who is a professional boxer. Now their relationship developed, and it starts developing really quick throughout the book. And then it started hitting, rough patches. And then you got Tammy. She's married to her husband, Rick, and she is, living her best life. She's happy with him. She's loving him until he drops a bombshell that he has aggressive of cancer, but aggressive cancer. So now he was hiding it from her for a long time because he didn't know how to tell her, and he knew it was going to devastate her. So when he finally told her, she was devastated. She shut everybody out. She didn't want to deal with nobody. She wanted to handle everything by herself while also trying to care for their first child, Dion. And it was just a lot going on with that. And then Monette, she ends up getting with Zaire's his friend, or I want to say his best friend Hakeem, after she gets out of a abusive relationship with the father of her child. Now they met while she was currently still pregnant, but he did not care. He was really into her, and he was doing everything for her and the child. Now all their relationship starts to develop, and it becomes a big whole mess. It's fun. Like, if you read it, it's funny. And this series is not one of them interconnected standalone series where you can read the second or third book and still get the story. No, you have to read them in order. And with Bay 3, so Bay 3 and the fourth book is in this same book. So once you finish with Bay 3, once you get to the ending of Bay 3, then Bay 4 will start, because they're basically in the same book. So that you have to go through that. And it was crazy. It was sad, and as they develop their as their characters and their relationship develop in Bay 1, then you get to Bay 2 and they still developing, but they end up hitting a rough patch. Bay 3 was, whew, that one was kind of hard, because I don't want to spoil Bay 3 for anybody who hasn't read it, because if you've read that series, and you know what I mean when it came to Tammy, then you'll understand. But yeah, I did when it came to Monette, after she had her child, had her son, she went through postpartum depression. I did feel that, because I went through that as well. And with Moet, when she had her child, she started feeling insecure about her body, because after you have a baby, her body changes. So I understood that as well, and that hit home for me, because I was like that. I was upset. I was sad. My body changed, and it was, and then it was just a lot. But I did feel for them in those situations, because I understood them as well. The other books I read, now this was a duet, 7 Minutes in Heaven by Elle Casey. So this is about Talia, Liam, Chills, and Kelsey. Talia and Kelsey are cousins, and the way Talia met Liam was, I think she lost a bet with her cousin Kelsey, and they went to this party, and they ended up paying, everybody know that game, 7 Minutes in Heaven. But it was uneven, so the guy who was hosting the party had to go get his big brother, whose name is Liam, and Liam chose to do 7 Minutes and with Talia, and that's how their relationship developed into a crazy, messy relationship. He was possessive, he was obsessive, he didn't want nobody talking, no male messing with her, talking to her or nothing. Like, he would dang on, like, it was that type of touch her and die type of situations. That's what it was. And then Kelsey ends up uh getting with a guy named Chills, who's also friends with Liam. So they started developing a relationship, and then they hit a snag. They end up getting it. He ended up proposing to her, getting engaged. Then they hit a snag, and it was a big snag. I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna give it away. But let's just say it was a snag, and they had to work that out and get that together. So that was crazy. The next book I read was Is She the Reason by Nako. Now this book pissed me clean off. The male main character pissed me clean off, but I also felt for him. Also felt bad for him as well, because his mental stability was just not there at all. So this is about Yaira and Kadeen. They are husband and wife, and they were doing a lot of shady stuff, scamming, unaliving people, drugs and stuff like that, and they ended up getting caught. Their house get raided by the feds, and they ended up doing 10 years. Now, here's the thing with that. They both were supposed to do 10 years, but Yara ended up doing 10 years in prison. While Kadeen, he only did, he did like 1 year in prison. And she was still, as she was calling home and talking to her kids and stuff like that, as she was calling home, thinking all this, she was thinking they were still married. She was thinking when she get out, they was gonna be together. They was gonna get their family back together. They was gonna do everything right out. And then but she did not know any of that. She was left in the dark. He had their kids lying to her. He had her mother-in-law lying to her. He had everybody lying to her. She didn't know nothing she didn't know nothing. When she got out, she found out that he not only did not do 10 years in prison at all. He got out of jail after 1 year. He was lying to her And on top of that, he ended up being engaged to the damn lawyer that was with them throughout the process. I felt so bad for her to the point where I feel like I wanted it to the point where I wanted to jump through that book and whoop Kadeem ass because he did her so wrong. Like she thought they were still on that Bonnie and Clyde type of love, but no, he did her dirty in the worst way freaking possible. And I felt so bad for her because she was hurt, she was upset, and she had every right to be because she didn't know none of this was going on. She was left in the dark. So, and I felt bad for her. But she got her ultimate revenge. I give her that. But he also didn't know how to feel or tell her because she just got to prison. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't even know he didn't even know how to tell her about it. He was scared and so he was scared and stuff like that. So and as it was going, his as it continued, his mental health was deteriorating because he kept living a lie. He did not want to tell her the truth. So everything was just a big mess. The book was messy, but it didn't end on a good note. That's one thing about it. It did end on a good note. It was a good book. Pissed me off like hell, but it was a good book. It was another one. Huh. What's the name of that damn book? Hold on. I got it. Damn. Oh. Okay. Now, the next book that I did read was When It's Real by Nicole Jackson. Now, this this book was funny as hell. It was funny. It was funny. So, this book was about a female main character. I forgot her damn name. Now I gotta go to my Kindle. Forgot her name. Hold on. I am not good with names after I finish a book. Sometimes I would forget no matter if I like the book or not. I will forget the dang on name I will forget the name to the character sometimes. That's just me. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta. And no, this is not a Kindle Paperwhite. This is a Kindle Fire HD8. Oh, so her name was Baby. Uh, first of all, okay, yeah, the name was okay. So her name was Babby or Baby. That that's what it was. Okay, so yeah, that's what it is. So her name was the female main character's name is Baby or Babby. It's one of those. Damn it. Ugh. Anyway, she was in a relationship with this guy named Tulo, but excuse me, but at the time Tulo was incarcerated, so she was just out and about, you know, living her life, still trying to hold him down while putting her life on hold. She barely went out. She barely did anything, all because she didn't want to miss his collect calls and stuff like that. So, but then she ended up meeting a kingpin. What the fuck was his name? Okay. Uh, Face. His name was Face. Now she only met him on the whim because of the neighbor's daughter accidentally kicked over her cup, and the neighbor went off on her daughter. Not Bambi's daughter, the neighbor's daughter. Her name was something I forgot. She was irrelevant. She was irrelevant. She ended up grabbing her daughter by the ponytail and lifting her up by her hair, and Babby told her to put her daughter down. She didn't want to. She was like, the neighbor was like, this is my child. I can do what the hell I want. And that didn't sit well with Bambi, and Bambi ended up starting whooping her ass. So, so they fought, and how she met Face was after she body slammed the neighbor on the top of his brand new, what was it? I think it was a Bentley or a Maybach, and left a mean ass dent in the hood of his car. And instead of her apologizing or being anything, she was being stubborn, cocky. She basically told him F off. She didn't care. So he ended up having her, so to repay back her debt to him, which was $2,700, he made her come to his house and clean his mansion. Because she, not only does she do hair, she does hair and she clean houses. So that's her income that she got coming. So, and she ended up doing his daughter's hair, and then they ended up, we just gonna save that for the rest. We just gonna save that for another day. But how it was crazy. So her and Face their relationship ended up developing, even though it was messy how it got to where it was, but it was entertaining and it was funny. So I started that book Sunday on the, what was it, like at night, and I stayed up to 3:30 in the morning reading it. That's just how good it was. And I was like, well, I lost sleep and I was so mad. But anyway, now to my May TBR. Now, some of these books my sister picked out for me, and other ones I added. So this, well, so the books are, this is Powerless and Powerful. I actually am doing the tandem read for this series. I'm reading this book with one of my good friends named Eve. So she wanted to read this. She had already started it. I was behind because she already started. I had a lot of arcs that I had to get through. And so I had kind of put this on a back burner, but I'm definitely going to get to it. The second one is Ruckus by LJ Shin. I read Vicious. The first book is Vicious. I read that one already. It was a good read. I was pissed at how the male main character did the female main character, because he was in love with her but didn't want to express it. But this one, I think this is about the female main character of Vicious' sister and her ex-boyfriend, Dean. This is about that one. Still Beaten by Jennifer Hartman. Now, this has been on my TBR for the longest. I kept telling myself that I'm going to read it, but never got around to reading. Never got around to reading it. The only thing I know about this book is that the bride's sister and the bride's groom gets kidnapped. And I also heard that it's very heartbreaking and it's very sad and it makes people cry. I only cried through 2 books, and that was Binding 13 and Fourth Wing. If you read Fourth Wing, you know. But I was 2 seconds away from throwing my book, but we ain't gonna go there. So so now my sister chose this book. So I'm definitely gonna read it. Just give me the strength. My Fault by Mercedes Ron. She picked this one as well. Now, I don't know too much about this book. I mean, it's a series. This is the first book of the series. I don't know too much about it. I know they made this book into a movie. I know they made all the books into a movie, I think. I'm not sure, but I know this one, and I'm pretty sure this, before it became English, it was in Spanish. It's called Cupla, something like that. I could be saying it wrong, I don't know, but look at the art in here. I got this out of Walmart. It's really good. I need to, if I like this one, if I liked it, I will get the second book and read that one. Phantasm by Kylie Smith. This has been on my TBR for a long time as well. Everybody has read it already. I am late to the game, like most of the books that I have got. I am late, but I'm definitely gonna read it. Simply because, mainly to get off my TBR, and because it was interesting, and mainly because my sister picked out Enchantra, which is the second book to this book. So, yep. So, all right, that's all for my that's all for this video. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and also hit that bell to receive notification from when I post. Also, do not forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. That's all. If you'd like to see more, comment down below and let me know what videos you would like to see, and I will see if I can get to them. All right, everybody. Have a good day.